Joey Badass fired his shots, and now he's claiming the crown. What's going on, YouTube? It's Wally Knox Hill. We're back with our breakdown series. So today, man, we have a very, very special album I've been wanting to get to ever since we've been covering the Joey Badass, the Kendrick, the Ray-Vons, the Daylights, all those disses back and forth. You know I'm a big fan of NYC. Being an East Coast MC myself, gotta pay homage to the Mecca of hip-hop and one of the best MCs doing it out of the city right now. I'm talking about Joey Badass. So this right here right now is his album, Lonely at the Top. But before getting further, listen, I just want to give a quick shout out to the Patreon guys. As you know, I'm having some clearance issues with some stuff. I'm battling the labels behind the scenes. So what I'm going to do is, if you enjoy this breakdown, if you like this dive and you want to see the full album, listen, the unfiltered reaction and breakdown, it's going to be on my Patreon. If you want to check it out, I'll put the links below so you can listen, you can join up with us. But anyways, know what we're here for. Joey, step back up to the plate. See what you got. Everything's really dropped down. Oh, nice guitar. Yo, mixing the, the guitar just adds a little bit more oomph to it. And then mixing that with something softer and more melodic like the piano.
Gold y'all bag, nigga. I'm that nigga. I thought I told y'all I'm back, nigga. These rap niggas know they can't. Hey, yo.
It's almost like you take a deep breath, but at the same time you think like he's huffing a line, right? Because he's just buzzing off of this. And I love Joey's brand of hip hop. Like, it just adds so much soul. And for me, like, he's got that New York charisma. Also, when he said lifestyles of the rich and the famous, I was thinking of Good Charlotte. Lifestyles of the rich and the famous, they're always complaining. Really? Did I just go there? I just did. I just made Joey Badass connect with Good Charlotte.
You ain't talking money, you must be talking a different language, independent mindset.
Just a simple bar. You ain't talking money, then you must be talking a different language. But it's just one of those that just, it hits, right? I'm always a fan of those bars that, yeah, it's not like they're crazy intricate, but it's just the way that they punch. It's the way that they're delivered, right? We ain't talking money. It's a different language, right? We don't understand what you're saying. Speak money to us or keep it moving.
We ain't fucking with the majors. Can't get back our time spent. Gotta treat it like a sacred house on a couple acres. Ain't no.
It's interesting how he talks about independent mindset when he's signed. But I also am aware of the situation with his label that he was lamenting and complaining that, yo, the album was ready to go beginning of this month. And now we're at the end and it's dropping. Like, the label basically has messed up my own plans and my own album rollout. So Joey has been preaching for artists to stay independent. So hence the lines independent mindset. But it is kind of ironic though, because he's saying this being signed to a huge major.
Never let them see you sweat. Every loss is a lesson. That's the secret of success. Can't forget to count your blessings.
That's that wisdom line that I like. Just those little gems that he drops, right? Because to me, I always preach this. You know, without failure, you can't grow. You have to embrace failure as much as you embrace success. Because failure is what truly leads to development. If you can learn from it.
Living life with no regrets. Never take kindly to threats. I don't need
paying life reducing debts. Living with no regrets. Like right there, he just kind of, he gives you, like, instead of, I talk about the charisma of Joey and how he's always kind of in this laid back pocket and delivery. But right here, there's a little bit more emotion that kind of breaks through in the delivery. Like a little bit more just aggression to it. This is a very cold, very appropriate New York beat, man. I'll tell you what, because even I lament it. And it's discussions that I've had in circles before, but I think we all feel it, right? New York is the Mecca and the birthplace of hip hop. And for me, it's been a drought for a long time since New York City was truly on top of hip hop. And you had those lyrical New York cats. Right? And I think that loss is still kind of felt, and that void has still never truly felt like it's been fulfilled. And yet, it's not from a lack of talent. It's not from a lack of artists, because Joey's giving you a perfect example of someone who has that New York sound, who has that lyrical prowess and ability to really put NYC on the map. I think the problem is that he just doesn't get as much mainstream shine and mainstream appeal as what used to exist, like in the 90s. Anyways, let's keep it running.
big swing, white and all that. A lot of niggas talk that talk, but very few of them could walk that walk, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah.
I just say facts when he just said facts in the ad lib. Let's go.
Word up.
Great minds.
At the screw face, but my bitch is meaner. Pockets on blue face, neck hitting like Krishan Rock Salama. This deeper than rap, yo, this that fine art.
Pockets on Blueface. Obviously, we know Blueface and Krishan and that relationship going south, but the Blueface as well, taking it deeper, talking about the time and the watches that he had. He had a smooth flip as well on the AP scheme, going even beyond that and before that. But I also take the Blueface. You can flip it into the blue strips as well. You can flip it into a drug dealing scheme. You can flip it into a watch scheme, or you can take it in the blue strips and money.
I just dropped 80 in the market like I'm Kobe. I carried the whole team by my dolly. No
Shouting out the Kobe Bryant 80-point game. Let's go, man. Rest in peace.
but you gotta feel us. I'm back
Man.
on my bullshit like Mike and 9-5. I'm so fly, you couldn't reach these heights unless you find God, inshallah. I just made a lot, now I'm on the clock. Had a
Reach these heights, and right before you had the Michael Jordan, like Michael Jordan used to have one hell of a leap, man. I used to have that poster of Mike in the slam dunk contest when he jumped from the free throw line and he's just sat there and the tongue is out, man. But Mike in 9-5 on my bullshit, because that's when he returned to the Chicago Bulls and came out of retirement when he was playing baseball after his dad died to go and win some more with the Bulls.
the beef, I be stirring the pot and serving it hot. Never lost the hunger. I
Came to beef, I'm stirring the pot. And that's what he's done with the drama. That's a little bit of a meta reference. Like, yeah, I know I stirred the pot with the West Coast, with the Ray Vaughns, with the Kendrick Lamars, with everyone who got involved in that. That was me versus literally cooking beef and stirring the pot.
sights. They couldn't see these heights if they had a satellite. Shine bright like it's
Hey.
my God-given right. I raised the frequency and now they see me in a different light. Yeah. Know what I'm saying? Straight like that. I'm back. Yeah, we still on that. Slick white and all that.
I feel like, again, that's a very meta reference that they see him in a different light, right? Because I feel like I wish the battle would have blown up even more. Joey with Daylight and Joey with Ray. And I still stand to this day that Daylight kind of just like dropped a bomb on the whole battle and could have really like elevated it further. Instead, like when he did like dropping on top of himself and then like dropping too many and almost one that he deleted. And then, yeah, he still came and did what Daylight does. But I just feel like overall, he kind of took away, unfortunately, from the battle and from where it could have gone with Joey.
God crucified me now by now. It came back like I never left. Dior when I resurrect me and Slick and go neck for neck. I've been the illest if you
Dior, me and Slick can go neck for neck. Like we can go pound for pound, flesh for flesh, neck for neck versus check what's on my neck. That's just tight, man. Like every time I feel like one of the Griselda members gives you a verse, like you know what's coming and you know what's on the table. And they just stay consistent with the product.
I can't lose, put me against whole crews. I style on niggas for dolo, pulling up from the logo, hitting nothing but the bottom of the net, no joke.
Yo, hang on. I got to get this sample right. This is dope. And let me tell you something about Kirk. Kirk was my MVP, most valuable producer from that whole beef. Like that Nick Caution track. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The Patiently Waiting remix, just like Kirk was on one. Kirk was focused. He knew the assignment and he brought it all the time. I can't find it, man. The closest thing I get is like a Neptune type of track. Someone's going to have to comment below what that is.
I need everybody on the dance floor right now.
Now we're invoking the alter ego of Swank White from Joey.
New wearer in a new pair of Pradas, the top shotter, the big dog Rottweiler, the 10-toe businessman with the good posture, the stand.
This is my favorite track so far, but I tell you what, it's the way that Joey's just sat in between the percussion on this. Like, this is what Joey likes to do. Like, he likes to stick right in the middle and just, like, let that end of the bar, instead of hitting on the percussion, it hits in that empty space, and he knows. He just lets that marinate out there.
Rich, big rollie with the rocks, how them diamonds cut on the wrist, suicide watch. When you only watch the games court side of the box, while all the
Diamonds cut on the wrist like you're committing suicide, cutting your wrist, versus the way that it's all cut, those diamonds on the wrist. That's smooth. Yo, just can't like he's down here very basic. And then you take the female vocals and you cut that. I'm always a fan of like the male to female duets. Yo, that production was crazy. I have the solution. Joey, I need a full album of you and Kirk. That would go bananas.
blowing money fast, but we ride slow. This lifestyle we live to die for. So bullets is high lows. Ain't no telling how I might go. Shoot us.
Simple line and coming, but again, like for me, it's just those wisdom bars. He's like an old head, right? Just in terms of that knowledge that he drops.
Go crazy when they see low green. When you get the hot hand and kill their self-esteem. Street dreams are made of these. My uncle whip just
CeeLo Green, crazy. Take me back to the Gnarls Barkley days, man, when they CeeLo Green, smooth flip on his name.
it up cause they was liable. I'm breathing new life in the game. It's a revival. Left me no choice to take a spot at
Queens got set up because they was liable. I wonder who he thinks dropped the crown.
no choice to take a spot that was rightful. Life is a bitch and she back on the cycle. Can't stop till the chips I stack. Told us the Eiffel. My attitude spike.
Life is like I've heard many bars about life being a bitch and then personifying life. But all of a sudden, life is back on that cycle right now. It's that time of the month. Joey on his period game right now.
Chop them buns clap while them guns clap. Shoot up.
Unwrap, buns clap, the guns clap. It's almost like taking it turned to percussion, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, da da do do.
Want you to leak it into your tongue chop. Them diamonds be hitting under Burberry mittens. Spaghetti cut to precision. She
I want you to lick it until your tongue chap. You need some chapstick with that.
Maybach, color Bobby Brown. This the new edition.
Maybach, color Bobby Brown. This is a new edition. Bobby Brown used to be a part of the R&B group. New edition versus the new edition Maybach. All right, Ferg. All right, Ferg. Yeah, I like that one.
Feel good, I think I'm ready to love you. Ready to love you.
Dollar Sign giving us those R&B vibes on this with this production too, man. Man.
Baby, fix your tone. Talk to me nice, baby girl, I'm gone home. Swear the heart is, don't get me started. I need a queen to match my king, just like the Carters. I know the road is long,
Nice.
I'm willing to go the farthest. Hopping across borders.
Need a queen to match my king, just like the Carters, right? King Carter as well. Smooth little flip on the family, but also Sean Carter and Beyonce, right?
We could either burn in flames or be water. I'm trying to be a better man for my daughter. Trying to think broader, but the way that I was brought up had me quarter. I let
That's a smooth line that's kind of poetic to me, right? We could burn in flame, right? You could have a quick flame of love versus a flame burning or be water.
Love you, ready, baby, ready to love.
See, I'm a fan of this. I think you kind of get like when it comes to male MCs talking about females in relationships, like, or non-relationships and one night stands, you tend to get like two lanes in hip hop. Like you get the, like the one night stands, and that tends to lean into like some more misogynistic lyrics and that side of things. Then there's the lane that I prefer, that I really enjoy. Kendrick gave us some of this on GNX, right? Some of these like R&B vibes, these more just mature. Like this is grown folk music vibes, right? And this is what Joey's giving us, because Joey's getting on in years now. Joey's a father. Joey's thinking about things from a more mature perspective.
ass tonight. She gon' wake up with some back pain. Might fuck around and even get a fat chain. I-95 swerving into the fast lane. A badass bitch might give her my last name.
Hands on your body.
Okay.
Body, baby.
I was saying, you know how I talked about the two lanes? I just set myself up for that because Joey kind of started swerving into the other lane, but then he brought it back around there towards the end. Might give her my last name. I think when you ride out an album, you got to understand it's like riding waves. It's like water, kind of like the lines that Joey had. And you got to understand when the wave crescendos, you got to understand when it's time just to bring things down. I think coming off of the last two tracks, because that was more higher energy, right? That had a little bit more oomph to it. They're more written like hits. It's nice to soften it up. Nice to kind of get more methodical with it. But at the same time, when you had Ty Dolla $ign on it, you didn't lose a catchy hook. Man.
Like that, I had it like that.
One of the four pillars of hip hop, man. I'm always a huge fan of turntablism.
Hey yo, came a long way from the streets of Brooklyn, Medina. Now I'm fucking out of hoes from Wilhelmina. You can blame the city.
Brooklyn, Medina? Is that a smooth Islam reference as well?
To the Brooklyn's finest, rest in peace to Clark Kent. Make a nightmare out these street dreams if you got pinch. I got shooters in every hood and best style.
I just made this connection. I don't know why I didn't think about this before. BK's finest. Shout out to Jay-Z. Had a song with Biggie. Brooklyn's finest. Produced by Clark Kent. Rest in peace. Right? I love the nod that Joey's doing. And then that sample cutting through before at the beginning. That's a smooth connection. And that's the beauty of hip hop. I love when hip hop connects. You pay homage to the pioneers, to who came first. And Joey being from Brooklyn, shouting out a Brooklyn legend in Jay-Z.
On my raps it's like acid trip. No smoke, your favorite rapper want a bag to snip. A Percocet and a ghostwriter to match this shit.
I wonder who he was taking shots at before. with the Percocet and a ghostwriter. Some of y'all just on drugs, you on Perkies, and you just hire a ghostwriter to put out your bars. This is real hip hop.
Fade like Nas, but I'm borderline J like I could have been from Moss. I never lived for options. I knew my only job was to...
Hey, bringing it together, two legends, man. Nas and Jay-Z. Obviously, shout out the Marcy Apartments where Jay-Z is from, and then Nas, Godson.
Fuck all the glamours and glitz. Keep a hammer and wrench. So all you broke motherfuckers get dismantled and fixed. I wanted my...
Glamours and glitz. Handles with it. Right? Smooth little multi-syllable rhyme scheme right there.
OG putting pain in the towns like I ran with the Knicks. Ain't never joshing around cause you know I got heart. It's a dummy.
Pain in the towns, into the towns, but also Karl Anthony Towns plays for the Knicks. Put pain in. We've heard the pain bar before, right? Talking about Cameron Payne, who also plays for the Knicks, but he's putting his pain, what he feels, into the track. There's some smooth flip. The layers on this production, man. You got a dope little acoustic guitar off to the side over here. Water running down the middle as well, just taking like a natural sound just to kind of put you into that state. It's almost like you're listening to meditative hip-hop music. Yo, that's a smooth transition too, because that leads into his next track, which is Underwater. You know what's funny is that hook right there, and just the way that intro hit, we call it almost like taking the mix and running it underwater, right? When you kind of like subdue the sound and the way that you run it through the filters, right? And you take away highs and the lows and the way that you run it through the filter pass, right? It's almost like it sounds like it's underwater right there. Very dope little meta with the mix for that.
Sweating all over my face, I'm spinning all over the place. I can't get a moment of...
I just realized this is Joey, man. Joey with that rap / singing and the smooth higher harmonies on this. All right, Joe, go do your thing.
And I know that shit's too long since I seen a dead piss. Feel like most death I ain't hear shit that my homie said. Been grieving ever since I found out that my homie dead. Told me
Yo, that transition was just ridiculous. The way that he came out of his higher singing voice into his more aggressive, bassier rap delivery, and then a little nod to Mos Def in his track, Umi Says.
Most deaf, I ain't hearing shit that my homie said.
And I'm Mos Def because I'm deaf to it. I ain't hearing it. That's a flip off his name.
Said we got tears flowing like broken levees in New Orleans. Trying to stay alive by any means. These days got a lot of enemies. Feeding over my...
Tears flowing like broken levees in New Orleans when Katrina hit, and they broke the levees in order to save the French Quarter, right? To save where the money was. They broke the levees to some of the poorer quarters and let those get flooded. Oh my God, and that ties in with the meta theme of the track, Underwater again.
These days got a lot of enemies.
Joey.
This is your mental health. Deep down, you've been swimming in doubt. You might be as good as Michael Phelps. On the low, the lowest you felt, but you're probably too high just to ask for help. See, you the problem, I figured you out. How I know, cause I know.
I like the Michael Phelps, man. Greatest swimmer of all time.
You felt, but you're probably too high.
Underwater again, the flow, you sinking.
Breathe. Breathe.
Oh. Slow up the tempo, the percussion hits. And that's that same police effect that we had running through when you heard the sirens, but before it sounded like it was underwater. Now it's coming more to the surface.
Just trying to stay afloat.
Wow. I'll tell you what, that was one of Joey's more artistic experimental tracks. Like, that's one of those that you could tell that he's pushing himself creatively. Like, I love him getting into this singing bag. And overall, just the concept of feeling like you're underwater and tying that in with an exploration of his mental health. I felt like the emotion of that, the vulnerability of that was perfect. And then blending in his rapping ability with the singing, right? And just the entire vibes of that was a total lane shift. This already feels like a nice compliment to Underwater.
No, they all jelly and I make the jams now. Fussing around, bitch, I had to stand out. They reaching.
No, they all jelly and I make the jams now. Jelly to jam versus the jams is in the hits that he's giving you.
Sometimes it get hard, but I can't keep lost in the dark. Long as I'm following, I trust in God.
All right, Joey, we got the game plan. We got 2 albums I need. I need 1 mini album with Kirk. That's just like hits. That's just like nasty, dirty beats from Kirk. And you just with that NYC delivery. and braggadocious, marinated, slow flow style. Then I need an album of this experimental, pushing it, just singing with these harmonies, but also this vulnerability too. Like between Underwater and this, talking about his mental issues. And for me, like this is something that needs to be spoken on more. And I love how art is just becoming more and more authentic, right? Especially in hip hop. Like it's okay. It's okay to admit that you're broken. It's okay that you have pieces that need fixing. But at the same time, like we tend to view things, especially with mental health, as it has to be like black and white. Well, how can Joey sit and have braggadocious flows? How can he talk with such confidence? Even he had lines earlier about like believing in himself. Like you can be successful, you can have confidence, but at the same time, you can still have plenty of insecurities. You can still have mental health issues, right? Life is much more complex and colorful than that.
Always get loud, know you need a break. Can't give up, this could be the day, cause sometimes that go through.
No, it's getting loud, you know, we need a break. I love that line because I think we all get noise in our heads. And that inner voice, that inner demon, and sometimes the noise just gets overwhelming.
Browser got way too many tabs open. Voices in my head been getting louder, telling me to stop, but I keep going. Gotta keep.
That's a simple line, but a great line to me. Like how many of us do that? And we have so many tabs left open. But for me, it's like so many thought processes and things that are unfulfilled and not having enough closure and just too many ideas, just feeling just like everything's kind of overwhelming with the noise in your head. Just from a personal perspective, probably my favorite from the album, just because that hit me emotionally. And I've kind of been having like a low moment today. And, you know, doubt creeps up inside of us all. And sometimes you don't know how close you are to your goals. Sometimes you don't realize they're only 3 feet away. All you have to do is just keep going and keep pursuing.
Spun the writer's block round like a game of Tetris. Hands on Ezekiel's wheel, I'm ambidextrous. Trying to stick.
Spun the writer's block, like when you spin the block versus Tetris, you can literally spin blocks and make it connect.
It's highway hellbound, looking for my exit. It's hot in Hell's Kitchen, but I never hailed from Uptown. The kid from Bucktown, the Warren Smith and West, make them niggas duck down. I used to bust around on the MTA, turn like.
Wow, there were some layers to that. I love just playing off Ezekiel's wheel like he's driving, but he's on the highway to hell. Just the religious references, because he had Allah, right? He had taken us on that side. But the story of Ezekiel's wheel, right, in the book of Ezekiel, is he sees this vision, this prophecy, and it represents God's omnipotent presence in the world, being able to see all from all angles and all sides at all times. So it's 4 wheels that has eyes on all angles of the wheels, and the wheels come together. And then you have 4 animals, one of them being human, I think a lion, an ox, is it an eagle? And then 4 wings on each. The story of 4s. But again, north, south, east, west, just seeing from all sides, just having this ever presence of the Lord. So tying in with that, like driving Ezekiel's wheel and then tying into that prophecy and those lines, those themes are dope.
Before we hit the crossroads, I hate that we went separate ways. Sometimes I wish I could put the past in my GPS. Swerving in my GLS, been suffering from PTS. I guess I'm still trying.
Sometimes I wish I could put the past in my GTS. I love that line.
The rain, I'm in terrible terrain. Pedal to the metal.
This whole metaphor, speeding through the rain and driving, Hell's Highway, and all of these tie-ins and this clever wordplay that he has around this theme.
Physical, your body is a vehicle. Satan trying to pimp the ride. Devils want to get inside and drive you out your fucking mind.
Man,
open my windows wide.
When you drive someone out of their mind, you're making them go crazy. Literally tying in with the driving scheme out of your mind. The double game on this is chef's kiss all the wordplay.
Spit the clock until my hands is tied. Fired up, feet 12 slide up, whip clean but it's dirty. C12 just my luck.
Man,
my foot up on the gas.
Ooh, that rhyme scheme. A little flow switch too, just that chopped up delivery.
Speeding through the rain.
I wouldn't say it's the catchiest of songs, but man, the writing on that, the wordplay, the metaphors. That was some serious wordsmithing by Joey.
From it, cause everybody got him, it ain't arbitrary. Still heavy is the crown, on the contrary, it's the honorary. Rightful king came to claim our position. Better watch the donors, what the game missing. The 6.
I just love Joey's cool, composed pocket. And I feel like you're really getting like these wise bars from Joey. Like, he's no longer just giving you bars in a sense. He's giving you knowledge, right? And I feel like the man's on the pulpit and he's taking us to church with each and every one of these verses. And just the way that he sits and the way that he marinates. Like, this is a man thinking through life, thinking through his accomplishments, thinking through his failings, and then sharing those stories with us.
Mics ain't gotta think twice when you know it's yours. You ain't gotta question. That's why I'm never stressing. I know it was all destined.
I know it was all.
That was smooth, man. You know what I like too? Just about the control of the production is that the first half of this verse is just Joey rapping over the pianos. Yeah, right there, he's got a smooth Nas line too coming up.
Watch Stone is what the game missing. The 6th member of the commission, but they ain't listening. They more worry how my chain glisten than what I'm whipping.
How my chain glisten and what I'm whipping. I wonder if that's a little bit of a chains and whips kind of. I'll see you over there. Because who's on that track? Kendrick. Clips made some noise. Clips had an amazing album this year, man. I really deep dive into that Clips album if you want to check that out. Huge nod and huge respect to the DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia, of course. Shout out to the homies over at Clips. But I feel like maybe there's just a little bit there that we could take and run with, like some breadcrumbs.
Wise men once said that it was written.
A wise man once said that it was written. Shout out to Nas. His album, It Was Written.
See the writings on the wall, call it superstition. I got that Stevie vision.
Stevie Wonder, superstition. And then he flips out of that Stevie Wonder vision because obviously Stevie Wonder was blind, but he had a vision with the music and with where he was going.
Even with my back on the wall, I ain't fall. Tell them all, guys.
I was smooth from Rhapsody. It felt a little bit like a kind of spoken word, poetry-esque, right? Kind of sung, but also just like talked out, conversational style.
Family is everything. A man is nothing if he lose it. Play the right hand, we all win. Most these niggas clueless. Foolish, walking down the wrong path. Fuck it if the shoe fits. Got him let it wear. He ain't trying to hear it, but deep down they don't sit well in the spirit. Yeah, pray you only get clearer. Meantime, I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
I know.
Man,
I know.
that was a verse. That was the second verse. I tell you about Joey giving us that knowledge. Like, as a father, man, did I feel that verse.
So you won't abuse it. Family.
Shout out to my twin daughters, man. But yeah, just some knowledge drop. Man's dropping dimes right now.
The right time to use it. Have enough self-control so you won't abuse it. Family is everything. A man is nothing if he lose it.
Family is everything. And I've said this so much, man. Like, as someone who's been on YouTube for a minute now, the likes come and go, right? The attention comes and goes. The clout, even chasing money, chasing that type of success. But the one thing that we always need to prioritize, no matter what happens in life, is time. Because that's something we'll never be able to get back. And the most important time is time spent with loved ones, time spent with family. Always make sure that you set aside time for the people who are most important in your life, even while you're chasing your goals and going after what you need to go after. And obviously, as Joey said, provide for your family. Look out for them as well.
The horsemen appointed to redirect the apocalypse in the Impala, flipping the hydraulic switch. Still in the wheel of fortune, still I'm...
West Coast, man, that Impala shot it out. But I tell you what, just the internal rhyme scheme flips were very, very nice. He had some compound multi-rhymes that he was just, man, Soul is a schemer.
My absence, it may just make your heart grow fonder or at least grow stronger. I gotta go farther for the sake of my daughters.
Man. Well, y'all getting me. Y'all getting me today on these father verses, man.
There in the mirror.
Y'all know I got twin daughters. I gotta go harder for my daughters,
I can't
man.
even look myself in the hydraulic switch.
The thing I love about Soul is that, you know, he's up there with his punchlines, right? Soul could be a battle rapper. The way that he really sets up his punches. And the man schemes. The man loves his doubles. He loves his triples. And he schemes on this too.
Staring the wheel of fortune, still I'm 10 steps ahead.
Wheel of Fortune, like playing the game, trying to make money, Wheel of Fortune, versus he's still got the Impala scheme and that wheel that he's flipping.
Of these niggas, something surely a
because the Impala costs money, Wheel of Fortune.
Back on the wall, I ain't fall. Tell them all, guys.
Still on
We
that.
still on that.
Let's go. I like that one, man. That was hip hop. That was pure hip hop right there. I'm looking forward to Joey's album. Again, you know how I talk about juxtapositions. It's like my favorite word to ever use when trying to describe the way that music sits and musicality. You have this soft, beautiful piano, but underneath, there's kind of this tension because the piano is more fluid in terms of sound, but there's something going on. It's almost like, you know, when like a hot mic catches like the drums and the drum kit, and then you can hear the cymbals.
They say it's lonely at the top, so whatever you do, you always gotta watch motherfuckers around you. Nobody's invincible.
What up, Guru? What up, DJ Premier? Talk about Gangstar. I'm talking about Moment of Truth. Joey paying homage yet again, and he's taking the hook from the song and also the titled album, Gangstar, Moment of Truth. That's some classic hip hop.
We be moving too fast. If we ain't on the same vibration, then I'm shaking your ass. Now every time I spin the block, niggas be looking so mad. Almost meet our moment of truth. They say it's lonely at the top, so whatever.
That's it. Like, just realizing that life really is fleeting, right? And we almost reach our moment of truth. And I love how he takes that and then he expands on that with the verse. And he talks about, you know, his life in the streets. He talks about the dangers that face him, the possible potentials of having his moment of truth through the police, and then also having his possible moment of truth, guilty by association, having to separate himself from the criminality of it all, but then having friends turn snakes and having to watch your back in that sense as well. Just nice little verse building that sticks with the theme and the concept of this one too.
Like to say a prayer before I catch my cue. Like, assalamu alaikum, swear this shit get real.
Is Joey Muslim, by the way? Because he's had a lot of references throughout this album. Ooh. It's basically like a heartbeat here.
They say it's lonely at the top, so whatever you do,
nice.
You always gotta watch.
I love that moment to breathe and just to reflect and then come back in with it.
Motherfuckers around you, nobody's invincible, no plan is foolproof. We almost meet our moment of truth.
That felt like a period to end the album with, just a final statement, but also like a ... right? Because I just feel like he's not done, but very cold, very NYC, Joey badass. Overall, man, like, I feel like you're always going to get your soul nourished with Joey, right? He's just got that classic boom bap that he's known for, that charismatic, slow flow delivery. But he's also really nice with the pen. He can tap in with the wordplay. He can tap in with the doubles. And for me, you had some really strong tracks to start with too. You had, man, the production from Kirk on Superfleet was just crazy for me. And then following that up as well, like just stacking the production. BK's Finest, dope little putting on for other NYC MCs, but also just paying homage and connecting that hip hop to the greats in Biggie, to the greats in Jay-Z. And then maybe some of my favorite tracks and sequences with Underwater, with 3 Feet Away, with Driving in the Rain. When Joey just gets more melodic, he starts to sing. He starts to really like push his art and get more creative and get more artistic with the sounds and with the expression. And I love to hear just him leaning into that authenticity, exploring issues of his mental health, having just some great, clever concepts and symbolism with it, but then also with the sound and the sonics and really just kind of seeing where he can push and elevate his art to. And then obviously Soul absolutely cooked, gave a great feature on Still. Westside Gunn gave a great feature as well. He had some really just tight lace features from the singing, from the Ty Dolla Signs, some great hooks laced into it as well. Yeah, like very solid, very, very strong album and showing from Joey on the back of all this beef, on the back of all this competition. This is what you do. This is how you ride from that. This is how you let your art then do the talking, how you show how you are a true MC and how you are a true student of the game of hip hop. Joey Badass, still at the top. You were Knox Hill certified. Hope you guys liked today's video. Listen, if you're here at the end, obviously enjoy the content. Do me a huge favor, support the channel directly. Subscribe, notifications on. It all goes a long way. It all helps. Also, if you like the shirt that I'm wearing, if you like the hat that I'm wearing, knoxhillmusic.com. Go get your merch. It all helps. It all supports. It all goes a long way. Also, if you want to see the full unfiltered album, listen, I got you on my Patreon right now. Me listening to this, giving you my thoughts, giving you my full breakdowns. If you enjoyed this edited up video, obviously, you know we got a lot of issues behind the scenes with the strikes, with what I can get cleared. So that's why I'm having to do this. But if you want to check out the full listen, it's on Patreon now. All right, everyone, stay safe, stay positive. Take care of these, take care of these. I'll catch you again.
You know I'm going now with a bang. Bang. Tell them leave the bag in a bang. Bang. You should check the tags where we hang. Hang. You know I'm going now with a bang. Know I'm going now with a bang. Bang. Tell them leave the bag in a bang. Bang.